We are in the people business. We just happen to sell cars. Gosh, we said that for a long time around here, but what does that really mean? Well, this is our attempt to bring out some of what that means in real-life stories of the people that make up this special company. My name's Ty Bullard, and I have the honor and the privilege of leading Joe Bullard Automotive right here in Mobile, Alabama, that is truly trying to make a difference one person at a time. Really, Ty? Easy to say, but are you seriously trying to do this or just saying this? I get it, and frankly, I think it's a fair thought. But come journey with us as we open up with these people and truly get to explore their humanness that makes them difference makers. We all have a story. I do, you do, we all do, and I'm just excited to share some of these with you. Okay, enough with the intro. Let's jump in. Well, we're back with Jennifer Clark. Thank you for tuning back in. I want to pick up, Jennifer. I want to jump right back in. You were talking about a little bit of how your current marriage and how it developed.
Only
current
which,
marriage.
just the one.
Terrible. Current marriage. I mean, you never know these days. But how that relationship progressed through the organization, and a little bit about kind of our conversations as you were like, I don't know exactly how this works.
Yeah.
And I was speaking just from a company standpoint. It is a little unique. So
sure.
You were basically saying, hey, I came to you saying, hey, this is a little more than I told you a couple weeks ago. I don't remember the time frame. Is this okay?
Yeah.
And of course, I told you awkwardly, I think so. I'm going to go with it. Tell me a little more about that.
We came back and I was very, open forward with you of here's where we are. At the time, Lance and I, although we worked in the same organization, we didn't work together.
Yeah.
So there was...
Y'all were real separate.
Yeah, and there was a gap,
Yeah.
And we had maintained while dating, work couldn't interfere and life couldn't interfere because we were together. And he had been here. He's been here longer than me. So he's been here 25, 26 years. So he didn't want to jeopardize what he had built. And I'm like, well, hold on, I don't know where I'm going yet. 10 years ago, I didn't know I'd be here. So it just created this, we had to keep open conversation through my role changes.
Mm-hmm.
Because, a few years ago when I took Cadillac, we had to say, press pause. Now he works for you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with that? And we, decided anything related to him with work, finances, disciplinary, whatever, would be his direct manager, Christian, and then one of our leadership members, Kevin. And those conversations have taken place outside of me. And we've maintained it, but we don't talk about work at home. We can't. It would be the current marriage or the old marriage. It would not be.
Former marriage.
Yes. We might not still be in a marriage.
So tell me what a day looks like for you with your husband working on the same campus as you. Like, what does that look like?
We're at work. We don't, if there's an issue that needs to be addressed, it is addressed. I will go to Christian. Like if there's a car, a comeback or something, I will go get Christian, we'll go together. But we don't have one-off conversations. It's just, I don't think it's appropriate for us or the team.
And y'all been married 10 years now?
10 years.
And I have not had one, I'm not jinxing you, we got a lot of wood here, not had one conversation where I've had any issue arise from that.
We still have people say, oh my God, you're married to Jennifer? Like, we just don't. That's right. At work, we're at work. And that's the only reason it's lasted.
Because I do think it's something that you don't see a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure a lot of companies from an HR perspective, they just don't allow it or
right.
whatever. So that's why you may not see it. But I think it's an interesting, I definitely think, it can go a lot of different ways,
mm-hmm.
and it is hard.
Yeah.
It's got to be harder than, say, for me, where I'm not with my wife,
right.
And work-wise.
Right.
It's every day. And so I just wanted you to speak to it a little bit, because I think it's remarkable how y'all been able to do that.
Yeah.
But still have a thriving, healthy, great relationship.
Yeah. We don't ride together. We don't. That's what people say. Because 45-minute drive. We have separate checking accounts. We are married, but we stand on our own.
Yeah. Well,
and it works.
It is neat that, that's, we don't have a lot of those, but y'all both met here,
yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jennifer, for the audience, for whoever, the one person that's listening to this, what would you tell that one? What's a takeaway? What's something you've learned either about yourself, the organization, being a female in a GM role? And I say that just because if you pull a list of GMs in the country at car dealerships, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's going to be a very small percentage that are females. And so you've busted that.
Mm-hmm.
You've been able to really probably prove a lot of people wrong, if I had to guess. Not that that's why you did it, but you probably did. Tell us about, like, what does that mean to you? Give us some insight there.
I mean, so it's a testament to faith, in believing that the path and before me is the path I'm supposed to travel. It's believing in you, because you've come to me with some things. I'm like, okay, I just pack my box and go to the next desk. But really, it's, if I can be Mama Bear and I can love on these people and these people continue to show up every day, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at my success as if my team is successful, then I have won.
What would you tell that female that maybe is a cashier right now?
Mm-hmm.
What do you tell that person?
Show up. You don't just, Casey that works with us says, like, every day's picture day. And that's a testament to you get up, you get dressed, you come to work, but you show up. You didn't get to work by accident. You drove in with a purpose, and you got to come to work every day with a purpose. Whatever that role is, you got to own it. And then you climb. You don't go out. I didn't anyway. You don't go out after the climb. You don't go say, necessarily when 6 months I want to be here, because that may be met with failure. You might not get there in that time frame.
So explain that again.
Like, I never had in 5 years I want to be here. I just said, if I show up every day and do my job well and love these people, I will by default grow. Because I think if you set a 5-year plan and you don't get there, do you view it as I almost got there, or did I fail, or wasn't good enough? You just show up.
Like it's you're almost you're setting yourself up a little
bit.
Potentially, psychologically.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It is. Life's, I mean, you think about life, and not to get too I can't say that. Philosophical. Thank you.
Welcome.
Philosophical. But so much about life and work and parenthood and being a wife or a husband and a grandparent, whatever, is just to show up.
That's right.
Just to come back to the table.
Right.
Don't stop coming back to the table.
Correct.
We say that in a group of guys that I get together with 5 or 6 times a year. There's a real intimate group of guys. We leave every meeting, we wrap our arms and we stand up. It's a little awkward. But we wrap our arms and we say a prayer, and then we always in it keep coming back.
Yeah.
And that's such a simple, great message to hear.
Sure. I mean, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy every day. And I have said forever, the day I don't want to come to work anymore is when I will take my clock down, like Mr. Leedale says. That will be my last day. But I've always wanted to be here. There are days that are hard. And I'm like, how in the world do I take another day? Mm-hmm. But showing up means more to my team than I realize, but also makes me better.
What'd you learn as a little girl that's helped you get to where you are?
Quitting's not an option. We had struggles growing up that forced me to rise.
Share an example of that?
Just hardships with parents, and just forced me to say, I can let it take me down or I can let it move me up. Mm-hmm. And I just chose to go up.
Quitting is not an option.
No.
How have you relayed that in your own family?
Jackson doesn't get to quit anything. Even the book he doesn't want to read right now. It's not an option. But I think, marriage can be hard. You make a decision not to quit. We built a house together. We could have quit each other and the house in that process, but we didn't. But I think even like with Jackson being 9, it's I really want to play in the game, but I really don't love practice. Not an option. We show up. We show up for the things we don't want to do. Yeah. We show up for the birthday party we don't really want to go to. But you're going to want that friend at yours. So we go.
One person, and you can't say that person here. One person that's just been a big influence in your life. That you get a moment to express thanks.
Outside of work?
Doesn't matter.
I would say.
It just can't be me.
No.
Not that it would ever be. I don't assume that. I'm just saying. Like.
Outside of work, probably my grandmother. She's passed, but she went to nursing school like in her 50s. She raised 5 kids, decided she was going to do something on her own, and that was you don't quit. She went on. She was an RN. She lived life her way. She was kind of the old Southern charm. She made the rules, which I loved, but it was graceful. And, when she passed is what I said to my family, like, what she wants us to do is walk through this loss in grace, because that's the only way she ever was.
Walk through this what?
This loss.
Oh.
Us losing her.
Walk through this loss with grace.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only way she ever was. We didn't know anything else with her. So
what about inside of work?
Inside of work, outside of my husband, years ago I probably didn't recognize it, but now I would say John Galanis. I think he's a pillar here. I think what he does is under the radar. A lot of times people don't recognize it, but if the walls are falling down, he's gonna pick them up. He's that guy.
Yeah, he's gonna stand in the gap
all the time.
Yeah.
I just think it's unseen. So until you work closely with him, it's hard to tell what that role is and what he means to this place.
What are you most excited about right now?
Right now, the future. We've had, work and life's been crazy with COVID. So what's that look like? And I think in all ways, at home and the schools and here, everybody's overcome it and just proven how strong we all are. It's nothing anyone had ever been through before.
Yeah.
So I just think there's a lot to be accomplished.
Awesome. Anything else you want that's on your heart to share, in your mind, that I hadn't spoke to?
I don't.
You thought maybe I would?
No. I don't think so. I think what I love the most is the people that show up with us here, and we have a lot of those people here, and that's a testament to what was built forever ago, but also what we have now. We have a good heart of an organization.
Yeah. Which is kind of the purpose for this, is to explore and to show, to show some of that.
Yeah.
To expose some of those.
Sure.
Some of those awesome traits and stories and people.
Yeah.
That we have. So, well, I appreciate you giving us your time. Thank you for being here and just sharing honestly how you feel.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I saw this being is, hey, let's understand who Jennifer really is.
Yeah.
Not that you put on a fake self, but let's talk about who you really is and maybe some things that you shared some of our audience can take and do something with.
Yeah.
And so that's obviously the goal. And I appreciate your vulnerability and just being as honest and open as you are. So thank you for that. I knew you would be that way. And so I'm just thankful for it. So thank you for everything.
Glad to do it.
And excited to see where this goes. So thank you guys for tuning in. Till next time, have a great day.